Hello guys and welcome back to my channel IELTS Made Easy. I hope I was able to give you some valuable tips in my previous video, and today I am back to discuss and talk about more tips because I am today discussing about speaking part 1 in IELTS exam. So guys, before I move on, I would just tell you two things. If at all you're watching this video and you are not an IELTS aspirant, forward or share this video to someone who is preparing, or forward or share this video to any group who are actually IELTS aspirants. Don't forget to do that. Also, watch this video till end because I'm going to share some valuable tips required for IELTS speaking part 1. So let's get started. So you enter the room, you greet the examiner. There are a few questions that I did discuss with you in my last video, and today I'm stepping ahead and I'm going to speaking part 1. Well guys, from here you would be marked upon and judged upon. So just be as smart as you are and as confident as you are. I've made these small pointers and I've written down in a page of paper because I really didn't want to miss out any pointers that is really needed. So normally guys, speaking part 1 lasts for about 3 to 4 minutes. It might last for about 4 to 5 minutes as well. And there are almost 12 questions asked out of different topics. However, the first topic is generally around 3 of them. The first one is work or study, the other one is home, and the third one is hometown. So the first topic will either be asked from work or study, or your home, or your hometown. I remember in my IELTS general, the gentleman had asked me about work or study. He just asked me that, do you work or do you study? I just told him that I do work and I work for an IT firm. In my academics also, the lady, she asked me, do you work or you study? I just told that I work and I work for an IT company. But then you can be asked out of the other 2 questions as well, which is home or hometown. So when the examiner asks you about home, he or she might ask you what type of home you live in. Is it a flat or an apartment? How have you decorated your walls? What is the best thing do you like about your home? What are the views that you get from your home? So these are the common questions that the examiner might ask you. Well, about work and study, he might ask you that what is the good thing that you like about your work, how often you interact with your colleagues, describe me about the first day at your work. So these are the questions that he or she might ask. Well, the third topic is the hometown. So the examiner might ask you, well, you should know the difference between home and hometown. Hometown is a place where you were born and brought up. So he asked about if I got work or study, but if the examiner would have asked me about my hometown, I would have told him or her about Patna. I was born in Patna, and I would have told him few things about Patna that is really admirable. Alright, so always remember, IELTS aspirants, that the first topic will be out of either of them. One is work or study, second is home, third is hometown. I was asked about work or study in both my IELTS academic and general, but then you can be asked about either work or study, or home, or your hometown. So that is fixed. That is not going to change in most of the times. Now, I'll be sharing the rest of the topics with you. An examiner can ask maybe beyond that. but these are the common ones that I have also experienced and I have also seen in the other videos. So they are friends, family, neighbors, weekend, music, hobby, favorite food, favorite color, favorite flower, cooking, favorite book, transport, childhood, shopping, holidays. There can be little difficult topic as well. Language, dictionaries, books, weather, some abstract topic like wisdom, happiness, wealth. So there are a couple of range of topics I would like to say, like I just mentioned, and the examiner can ask amongst all that I have shared. Well, he can just ask one question with the flower topic, and he might jump to the other question with the family topic. So just be prepared that anything can come up to you, because he just wants to know you more. He or she just wants to gather that extra information from you, the general information from you. So this is very important, guys, very important pointer. Okay, so that this is one of the case, and it might happen that the examiner is asking anything beyond this. You know, in my case, I remember in my academic, because I've just given it very recently, that lady asked me about my favorite gadget in the first introduction round or the interview round. She did ask me about hands-free. She did ask me about when I use my hands-free. So they can actually ask you around any other topic, but these are commonly asked questions or commonly asked topics is what I would say. But keep in mind, guys, keep in mind that the first topic will always revolve around work/study or home or hometown, wherein the other two topics can scatter around anywhere possible. So like I told you, I'll repeat it again. It's family, friends, neighbors, weekend, music, hobby, favorite food, color, flower, cooking, book, transport, childhood, shopping, holidays, wherein the examiner might also ask you about dictionaries, newspapers, books, flower, happiness, language, weather. So you can get a mix of all of them. So just be prepared on that. All right. Now, let me tell you about the scoring parameters in speaking overall. So the first parameter is fluency. How fluent are you while you're speaking? Your voice should be very clear. The second parameter is lexical resource. That means vocabulary. What kind of vocabulary do you use? I'll give you an example for this shortly. The third parameter is pronunciation. Just be natural. Don't try to copy how someone else is pronounced. So of course, pronunciation. And the fourth topic and the fourth parameter is the grammatical range and accuracy. So that means how good are you with the grammar. They typically see that you're not making any mistake with tense, like present, past, future. How correct are you when you're using words like have and has? So the examiner takes care of or notices these things while you're speaking. So I'll again repeat, guys. Fluency, which is how clear and fluent are you. Lexical resource, vocabulary. I'll just give you an example for that. Pronunciation, how well you pronounce the words. And at the same time, I would like to say that be very natural. And then grammatical range. So how correct are you grammatically? Okay. So now getting back to the lexical resource, and just remember, guys, each one has 25% of weightage in this speaking part 1 parameter, scoring parameter. So I'll tell you about this lexical resource, which is the vocabulary. Now, if the examiner asks you what type of hobbies are pursued in your country, So you can say the hobbies that people do in my country are blah blah blah. But then if you say the pastimes in my country that people pursue or follow are, so the examiner will be like, wow, she or he has used another word for hobbies, she or he has used pastimes. So that is the way you can show that you have a good set of words or vocabulary with you. This is nothing but this is also called paraphrasing, and paraphrasing is very important when it comes to IELTS exam overall. So see that you read some synonyms, you just refer to different links that gives you synonyms of different words, because paraphrasing is really important. Like I just paraphrased hobbies into pastimes. Okay, so now quickly I'll tell you the do's and don'ts for IELTS speaking part 1. So the do's of course are paraphrasing, very much required. Try to use linkers like however, at the same time, but, in spite of. So try to use those linking words in between. So say suppose if the examiner asks me that, do you intend to learn any new language in the future? Then maybe I can say, well, not really currently. However, when I'm like willing or interested, I might learn German. So I've just used this however as a linker. Linker, a linking word that joins one sentence to the other. So try using the linkers. Try to expand your answers. Say suppose the examiner has asked you as a very first question, do you work or you study? So you can say, I work. But then just don't stop there. Just say, I work in a big IT firm and I work with the designation as blah blah blah. So just add 1 or 2 more lines. That is very important. That will make the examiner feel that you are quite fluent and comfortable while talking in English. Now the other thing is, keep smiling every time. Don't be like tense like this and talk. Keep smiling and talk and maintain that sync and eye contact with the examiner. Just be yourself. The way you talk at home with your loved ones, just talk like that. Just only the thing is that you have to be pretty formal when you're talking there. But just be yourself. Now, important thing is don'ts. Don't memorize the answers, guys. Never do that. The examiners are experienced enough to catch you if you have done that. Don't use very, high vocab words or unfamiliar words. No, just use words that we use in day-to-day life. Don't keep long pauses. Don't say, okay, let me think over. So, don't bring that long pauses, all right? Try to speak fluent. Even if you're getting that pause, it's better to use the word well, because well will, when you're speaking well, then your mind is actually activated and the mind is doing that work for you. Instead of that pausing, saying, well is a good word, all right? So avoid taking those long pauses. Don't speak in a monotone, like my name is this or I work in this. Have that waves coming when you speak. Have that frequency going up and down. That thrill should be there instead of just one single line, all right? And don't worry about your accent, because Indians have different accent than US, than Canada, than the UK. So don't worry about the accent. The way you talk in your own country, talk in the similar way, all right? Now, one thing is that sometimes you get a topic which you're not aware about. So don't worry on that. just start. Say suppose you are a guy who's not into music, but you've been asked a question, a very generic question around music. So you can say, if you know the examiner asks you how often you hear music, you listen to music, you can say, well, I'm not a very music oriented person, but yeah, sometimes when I do take a walk or I'm in a public transport, I do listen to this and this band. So you have just been very honest, instead of making few stories or trying to do something. You've been very honest and you've told that you're not into music, but sometimes in the long day you do tend to hear some music. Okay, so don't worry if you've got something that you're not into. You always have an answer, and always be very truthful, factual and honest. Okay, don't try to make up things. Examiner would definitely know that you're making up things. Okay, say that you're not into music, but sometimes you do listen to this and this band. All right, so last but not the least, guys, I think I've covered all the points. I was just looking into my sheet. Just relax when you're answering. Just be yourself. Don't overstress yourself. Don't overthink, because guys, IELTS is just a small milestone. Whatever band is required, if you just prepare at least 1 hour daily at your home, I think you would be good enough to get that band. So don't be like crazy that I have to get that 9 band in all the modules. Whatever is required, maybe for you it's just the band 7 or band 8 or band 8.5 is required. Just try your best to take out some time from your daily work or your daily routine and just spend some time in IELTS preparation, but don't get super crazy or don't get overstressed for it, okay? Because this is just a very small step, a very small milestone, and there's a lot of things to be done, a lot of things that's ahead. Trust me, I'm still facing the heat, huh? So that is, guys, that is all about IELTS speaking part 1. So I've told you about the common topics. I've told you the first topic, which would either be between work or study, home or hometown, and the rest of different common topics from which you can be asked questions. And then I have told you the scoring parameters, which is your pronunciation, lexical resource, your grammatical range and accuracy, and your fluency, right? I've told you do's and I have told you don'ts. So just take care of all these pointers, be yourself, relax, and give your speaking part 1 IELTS test. Or else I'll say, just take your speaking part 1 IELTS test. Okay guys, so I hope this video had a lot of tips and information, and I'll be back again with speaking part 2, which is cue card round. So take care guys, and have a happy weekend. Bye bye.